Hello everyone, and here is the update video. So one thing is, before I start this update video, I want to let you guys know that I've been struggling with schoolwork lately. Especially geography has been a bitch, and it's been holding me back from what I've been wanting to do lately for the past few weeks or so. And so videos are going to be inconsistent, and there's going to be probably huge delays between videos, like this one, because I promised this one in the last video. And how long has it been since the last video? It's been, it's been a few days. It's been a really long time. Well, at least I think. But yeah, and right now I'm in the garage, and I have the garage door closed because it has been fucking cold the last few days. I think a few days ago there was at least 2 days where it stayed at like 20 degrees out, and it was really, really cold, and it wasn't something that I enjoyed. Another thing is, I'm actually redoing this video because I did start this video, but then it turned into 20 minutes, so I'm trying to make this very short on what I have to update on. And also, as I promised, I was going to be introducing this wonderful new tool. I'm going to do that at the end of this video because, it's something special. I don't want to do this, right away. But yeah, so first we're going to be starting off with how the Corsica's been doing. So it has not been great with the Corsica. About a week or two ago, when I was doing, around the time that I had done the Pontiac window switch, I had attempted to replace the battery holder that I had got for the Corsica, because the current battery holder in there was broken. It was falling apart. And so I went to put this new one in, and one of the nut plates was rotted and it broke in half. And so now I got to go back to Pick and Pull and get new nut plates for my 95 Corsica. I might have to go out to Dallas because the one in Fort Worth, they're saying they don't have any 95 Corsicas, but at the time when I was there, they had a 1995 Corsica, and I was probably the only one, and hopefully that one didn't get crushed, because there's like 3 wrecking yards around the Fort Worth Pick and Pull, and it's not a great sight to see. Good cars getting fucking squished for no good reason other than pennies. Yeah. So it's been down for a few weeks. The battery's been out of it. I've been very concerned about the battery because you know how these car batteries are. They are developed to be consistently recharged, and if they're not, they will go bad and they'll become a piece of shit pretty quick. This one's new, so I'm kind of expecting it, that I might just have to jump start it when I put it in. But yeah. And to do a comparison between the two battery holders, as you can see, there is a piece missing. My stabilizer, what I'm using as a stabilizer isn't that great. It's a piece of shit. But pretty much the main piece on the battery holder to keep the battery, to hold the battery from sliding back. That's the whole point of the friggin' battery holder. It broke off, and the battery was then sliding back more than it should. And so then we had to use wood, and we stuck that in between the battery and the fender to keep the battery from sliding back. And so this new one provides the guard that keeps the battery from sliding back more than it should. So yeah, another thing, how GM designed these is they designed it so that there's tacks that hold the battery holder and the battery filter compartment together, And apparently those tacks were pretty strong. The original tacks on the Corsica were pretty strong. Apparently the tacks were already broken on the 95 Corsica that I had pulled it from. I mean, it was sad to see that Corsica. You know, one thing about that Corsica that was at Pick and Pull, it had lower package options. It actually had manual windows and it had blue interior, but it was exactly a 1995 Chevrolet Corsica with the same engine, 4-cylinder, 2.2 liter. So anyway, moving on from that, and this stuff has actually been sitting here for exactly a week or two, and just like this. And you know, to be more clear, I had gotten this battery holder along with the switch I had gotten, which that switch, of course, was broken. And I did get a new one, and I did make another video that I will have out after this video of a successful install full tutorial. You know, I already got it edited and ready to go. I just need to upload it after this one, and I'll probably do that tomorrow after this video or so, or whatever. Yeah, so moving on to the van. You know, so like I said in the previous video, or in, I don't know, the previous videos, you know, that the van has been at an idle because my old man was taking his time to work on the gas tank and I really wasn't working on it. And so he was kind of in charge of cleaning the rust off of this. And so he was using vinegar, which is an interesting way to get rust off. It does work, but the only issue is that after applying it and letting it sit, if you let it sit too long, it will eventually return back to rust, and that's not really good. So that's what was going on with this tank. So we just barely got it clean. Of course, obviously, it's cleaner than it originally was when we pulled it out. You know, like this side here, as you can see, is pretty clean. And then up here, you can really see where the vinegar fucked up, because there is some rust still there, you know, and hints of clean metal. And another thing is that, amazingly, this label here, it did survive the vinegar, but while we were applying the vinegar, we found out that that is actually not a metal plaque. That's actually a regular freaking plastic sticker. And so it had actually returned to its original state when we were putting on the vinegar. But before then, it was as hard as metal. It was unbelievable. I mean, I really thought that thing was just like some aluminum that just had some adhesive on the back of it just stuck on there, but it was actually plastic. Yeah. And another thing is the fuel sender unit. I did get parts for those, and I bailed on the idea of getting a new $80 fuel sender unit, because that one, of course, actually wasn't even the right length when it came in and we measured it and compared it and stuff. And so it was like, then, you know, there's like, you know, I looked up some more new fuel sender units, and there really wasn't any that matched what we were looking for. And so I just went ahead and matched up all the parts and got them ordered, and they're now sitting inside and ready to go. You know, I got the strainer and I got a new lock ring and seal. And so that will be ready to go when we paint this. We already got the paint, of course, but I also went on YouTube and looked around to see if maybe I could finish this up on my own. You know, just looking around to see if there's anything better, maybe any chemicals that could take care of the rest of this rust and, you know, clean this off and stuff. You know, also another thing is I'm concerned about the rust around the openings like this here. You can clearly see that there's a lot of excess rust around that, and that's not good. And also over on the other opening that's got a rag stuffed in it. So yeah. So that's pretty much, yeah, and then the van steering wheel, which is over here. Trash lid on top of it, wonderful place to be. But I had looked into cleaning that up. You know, I tested some vinegar on it, and the vinegar worked perfectly. And now all I need to get, need to do is get a container that will that steering wheel will fit in and soak that, which I haven't been able to do that because there's absolutely no fucking containers around here or any containers at the store that will work. So I'm still looking into that. Yeah. And so anyway, moving on. You know, another thing, oh well, before we move on, another thing is I still have that video to do with the fuel filters comparison, because I was saying how we technically really didn't know the exact mileage on the van because the odometer wasn't designed to go to 100,000 or more. It was only designed to go to like 90,000 or whatever. Yeah, 99,000. So, yeah, so anyway, moving on. So here it is. DeWalt air compressor, 15 gallon, 200 PSI. Yep. This is it. This is my birthday present. Brand new from Home Depot. And I'm really proud that I have this because this is going to be a life changer. You know, no more hand tools that much. I won't, you know, it'll be easy to do things. You know, along with the compressor, of course, got nice big ass impact gun, and got a few other things, some nice long hose to use it. One thing about this air compressor is constantly, every time I went to Home Depot, I looked at the air compressors because this was the first tool on my list to get for the garage, because I'm still currently working on finishing my list of tools to get, and this one was a first priority because it's going to fit in here, going to be the first to fit in here, and I'm going to be able to actually use this thing. Now, of course, because of schoolwork, I haven't really been able to use this thing, and also because the weather's been really shitty, I haven't been able to use it. But one thing is, every time I went to Home Depot, I looked at the air compressors, and me and my old man determined on an air compressor that would be for what we need. And of course, the one we needed was the most expensive, you know, the most decent one. You know, the rest of them were pretty wacky. You either had, you know, just, yeah, so this is the perfect one. And it was pretty much the most expensive one, like I said. Yep, $389, about $400. But it's definitely worth it. One thing is, this has been sitting here since December 1st when my old man brought it home. And when I go to use this thing, it's going to need like a 4-hour break-in because it hasn't even been started. I haven't even touched it since it was pulled out like this. You know, one thing is first thing I want to use this on is replacing the coilovers in both the Pontiac and the Corsica. You know, one thing is the reason why, with the Pontiac, the reason why I'm going to be replacing the coilovers because the current ones in there are creaky and just, you know, shitty right now, and they just need to get replaced. And then the Corsica, the reason why I want to replace those coilovers, because I would like to give it a better stance. You know, the stance it has is kind of fucking newbie. And, of course, it's got hubcaps and shit. So I'd just like to lower it a bit to the ground. You know, give it some better character other than a piece of shit junk car that needs to go to salvage because, you know, Corsicas, first of all, they're rare because they were disposable cars at the time, and a lot of people, of course, threw out their Corsicas. And second, people who actually own Corsicas, they don't even really do much to their Corsicas. And, you know, so, you know, changing the stance on this Corsica will be interesting because, you know, I haven't seen it really on any other Corsicas. And, yeah. You know, and then another thing I want to do with that Corsica is do an engine swap. I want to go from a 4-cylinder to a 6-cylinder because originally, back in its time, there were options for 6-cylinder engines. And I didn't see much of a difference in body change, so I'm thinking that I'll just be able to put in a 6-cylinder. You know, a 3 or 3.3 liter and GM engine if I can find one, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, then other plans, I want to change out the steering wheel, you know, get an aftermarket steering wheel because, you know, there's only one airbag up front, and that's the driver's side, and there's no point if there's not 2 airbags to have an airbag there. I mean, what's gonna happen to your passenger if you run into something? Passenger's gonna end up dead, but you're gonna survive because there's gonna be an airbag there. So, you know, it's pointless to have one airbag up there. So, you know, might as well put an aftermarket steering wheel in. And also the front seats, you know, those are all tattered. So I'm just gonna put in racing seats for now. And the back seat, I'm probably just gonna take those cushions out and just mount frames for subs in there and see how that works out, you know, and do some cool things with Corsica because it's going to be my daily soon. You know, another thing is my driver's license. I've been held back on that. I do have my certificate to go get my learner's permit so I can start driving, and I haven't been able to do that, of course, because I just my fucking schoolwork. I haven't been able to go over to the office and take care of that and get my learner's permit. So I'm kind of stuck now, and I'm already 16, and I'm really like, you know, just, you know, kind of disappointed that I'm not fucking driving right now and going and picking up my own food and shit. So, yeah. So, you know, another thing is, I really don't know the model of this one. All I can do is just show you guys the tag. You know, I haven't found the specific model number, but you can find, you know, this is like the latest DeWalt air compressor at Home Depot right now. So if you go to over to Home Depot, you should be able to find one of these on display. Or you can go over to their website and find it pretty easy. You know, just 15-gallon, 200 PSI, 5.0 SCFM, and yeah. So I guess that is pretty much it for the updates. You know, and I will be probably doing another update video soon for Christmas because that's when I'm going to be getting a lot of, I'm hoping to get a lot of more equipment that I need, like engine stand and hoist and a good workbench. That's pretty much all I want for Christmas. Just get my shop together. Yeah, and this is exactly about 20 minutes. It sucks. I try to make this short, but I'm just running my mouth. So anyway, you know, just carry it out one more minute. And what else do I got? You know, another thing is, this is a 420 square foot garage, and I am not planning on using this to work on cars in. I'm just going to be using this to set up workbenches and store equipment. You know, because it's just, you know, it's pointless to work on your car in here. You know, it's more like a place to bring in your engine or transmission for rebuild. And yeah, so anyway, thank you guys for taking your wonderful time to watch this video. I'm trying to keep it really short. Next video I'll be explaining about my content, what I'm going to be doing with that, because I haven't been getting that many views lately. And I don't have that many subscribers. I only have like 2 subscribers that I'm really talking to right now. So, yeah. See you in the next video. Peace.